Welcome back to From the Core. We've started something new here at FTC. It's called What Do You Know? It's a conversation with our friends at TB2, a teen newspaper sponsored by the Tampa Bay Times. With me now is TB2 editor Rachel Moa and TB2 reporter Jackie Lawson. Thanks for joining me today, ladies.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
So, Jackie, I understand you recently did a story about a Gaither High School student about joining the Air Force.
Yes, I interviewed a student from my school who's actually a senior. His name is Alan Romero, and he is very interested in pursuing a career in the Air Force. He is in our ROTC program, which is a military vocational program at our school that teaches leadership skills and has an emphasis on military training.
So what motivates Alan the most to join the Air Force?
Alan is actually an immigrant from Honduras, and through his experiences from the poor community in Honduras and migrating to America, he has developed an appreciation for the quality of life that we as Americans have, and he really wants to give back to his community that's given so many opportunities to him and his family.
So I know there are a lot of risks involved in joining the armed forces. What does Alan think about that?
Recently, my editors and we heard a story about Army Specialist Brittany Gordon, a grad from St. Pete High, who's actually the first woman to die in Afghanistan, and the news really hit home because she is relevant to our community and really it affects us, and so we wanted to tie in her news as along with Alan's plans, and we had interviewed him solely for an Air Force story, and then we decided to go back and interview him again and talk to him about his risks. He understands and he definitely feels sympathy for those who have passed on, but he wants to serve, and I think that's a beautiful thing that he's so willing.
That was a really inspiring story. Thanks, Jackie.
You're welcome.
So, Rachel, I know you guys recently covered the Erase Hate Festival. Tell me a little bit about that.
The Erase Hate Festival was sponsored by TB2 and the Times, and it was on November 4th at Curtis Hickson Park. TB2 was there to cover and photograph the many students that signed a giant asterisk, which is one of our logos, pledging to erase bullying and to help bring awareness to bullying and that it should be stopped. So.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. So what is there to look forward to on TB2?
We actually have some really exciting pieces coming up. One of my favorites, one of our staffers, is actually going to cover the Breaking Dawn Part 2 movie. Except, and this is how we do everything on TB2. We put a little twist, a kind of a featurey aspect to it. He is going with his 80-something-year-old grandfather and going to get his take on it. So I think it's going to be really fun for readers to catch.
Is there anything else?
Yeah, we actually have a Thanksgiving issue coming up, and I'm really excited for this, mostly because I like to eat. But some of our staffers are going to cover culinary students taking Thanksgiving leftovers and creating them into something completely different. So not just the same old boring turkey sandwich. And then we're doing a Thanksgiving by the numbers, and we're kind of showing how many calories you eat during Thanksgiving and all the turkeys consumed. So it's going to be really exciting.
That's really getting me in the mood for some Thanksgiving dinner. So Rachel, where can we find the TB2 newspaper?
Students can find it at all of their high schools, and you can also find it online at tb2.com.
Well, thanks for being here today, ladies.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with more From the Core.